Good morning and welcome to today's verse. To God be the glory. What a great day it is today. Today's verse, it comes to us from the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 3, verse 21. And it says this, "To him who overcomes, I will grant to sit with me on my throne, as I also overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne." I want to speak to you this morning about being an overcomer and the reward to those that overcome. This verse is part of Jesus' message to the church of Laodicea, the seventh and the final church that is addressed in Revelation. The Laodicean church was spiritually lukewarm. That is, that they were neither hot nor cold, which symbolizes their complacency and self-reliance. They believed that they were rich and in need of nothing, but Jesus, he exposed their spiritual poverty, blindness, and nakedness. We read about that in verse 17. Despite their failure, Jesus still extends an invitation to them. In verse 20, he says he stands at the door and knocks, offering fellowship to those that will open their hearts to him. In our verse, the Lord then presents a powerful promise. To those that overcome will reign with him, just as he overcame and is now seated with his Father in heaven. Our verse is a call to believers to be victorious over spiritual complacency, sin, and worldliness. Overcoming now, it doesn't mean perfection, but remaining faithful, repentant, and dependent on Christ, thus relying on his strength and his strength alone. For true victory only comes from a life that is fully surrendered to Christ, not from material wealth or religious routines. The promise to sit with Christ on his throne, it symbolizes that believers will rule and reign with him one day when he establishes the new heaven and new earth. Believers will rule and reign with Christ forever and forever. Now, we will be assigned certain duties and responsibilities in the new heaven and earth. Exactly what they are, I don't know. But we will be given responsibility to oversee and manage the universe for Christ. In Matthew chapter 25 and 21 and verse 23 as well, he says to him, "Thy good and faithful servant, you have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many. Enter therefore into the joy of the Lord." Yes, we shall even rule and oversee the work and the duties of angels. Imagine that. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 2 and 3, we read where it says, "Do you not know that the saints will judge the world? And if the world will be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Do you not know that we shall judge angels? How much more then the things that pertain to this life?" Listen, those who persevere will experience the fullness of God's kingdom. But sadly, many Christians today are just like the Laodiceans. We are influenced by the world that is around us, and we feel a sense of self-sufficiency in our faith. But Jesus calls us to a deep meaningful relationship with him. We need to recognize that the Lord desires intimate fellowship with his people. And by abiding with him daily, we will experience his presence, his guidance, and ultimately we shall have an eternal reward. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. I pray that you would meditate upon this verse. It would be a word of encouragement to you as you go throughout your day. I pray that you would have a great day. Have a safe day. And then tune in again tomorrow. Yes, as we consider today's verse. Amen.